Hi, my name is Stephanie McVeigh.
My name is Carter McVeigh and this is Bonnie McVeigh.
Bonnie is 2.5 years old and she has been a shining light in our lives. Around 8 months old, we noticed it was very hard for her to get up when she was resting. We had x-rays done and she was diagnosed with severe hip dysplasia and arthritis, and eventually she got a hip replacement. We had her home, and around 10 days in, we noticed that she was yelping, she was very lame, and unfortunately the hip had come out. The hospital she was treated at, they tried to put it back into place, and then we got a call to say that the hip had come out again while she was in the hospital. She had a bone infection which led to her femur being incredibly weak, and it just fractured. Sorry, I'm getting upset even thinking about it. It's been incredibly difficult. She's just our little soulmate, she is. It's like, oh, I just love her so much. It's been hard. It's been really hard. So.
So I'm just about to give a talk to students who may be coming to this building, which is the vet school in Guildford. It happens to be my birthday. What better could I do on my birthday than try and inspire the next generation of vets? So I'm going to try my best to explain to them that it's all rock and roll. No, it's not. Today I'm going to go back to the practice and operate for many hours. It finishes when it finishes. If it finishes at midnight, it finishes at midnight. What I am going to try and do today, the risk of failure is high, but if somebody doesn't try, then this particular dog, whose name is Bonnie, is going to lose her leg. And if she loses her leg, then she may lose her life. And as I often say, everything's impossible until it happens. Now, Bonnie's family.
Good morning, morning.
Let me just there you go.
It is my birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, yeah. I decided to do something important on my birthday. Who wants to sip pina coladas by a pool when you have the opportunity to fix this leg and help this being? We have been planning this for weeks. It's just, are you singing happy birthday? Is that what that is? Is that what that is? And you know what it looks like. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
You know that the bone is wafer thin up here. The key to trying to get this to succeed is to get that muscle reattached to the top of the femur, whilst leaving no hip in there. There will be no hip joint in there, because she is functioning with no hip joint here.
Yeah.
So to try and put a hip joint in now would be foolhardy.
Okay.
This is custom made for this bone. It's exactly the correct shape.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, because this is so thin, that's going to collapse.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've built this titanium peg. So this is a trabecular mesh of titanium, meaning it's a honeycomb of titanium,
Okay.
coated in hydroxyapatite, which is a bone on-growth mineral.
Okay.
And the objective of that is to put it physically inside the femur so the femur doesn't collapse, because I've got to cut a giant window from top to bottom to take the cement out. Because if I don't take the cement out, the infection will stay there.
Okay.
The infection may still come back.
Okay.
And you know that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So if this gets infected, game over. As you can see, the other hip is completely out of the joint. The head of the femur is rubbing on the top of the socket. And then you've got a hip replacement on a very bad hip with higher risk.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but high risk.
Okay.
But it's a big ask, and I've never done it before. I've invented this plate years ago for hip revisions like this. And I've invented various femur reconstructions, but never in this exact scenario,
Okay.
where we're leaving the dog with a femoral head and neck excision, which is no head, and we're facing infection, and we're facing massively fragile bone. So the best I can do is get you back to where you were before you had this fracture.
Yeah.
leg will never be normal, but at least it will be a leg to stand on. So I've got the team lined up for late afternoon we start. We probably keep going till midnight.
Really? Okay.
What better way to spend your birthday?
We're feeling coladas and more and more appealing.
Clearly, I wouldn't have scheduled it if I didn't want to help. So
Yeah, of course.
No, we appreciate it.
Appreciate it, honestly.
she's the queen, isn't she?
She is.
She is absolutely the queen.
She's the queen of the house.
And she knows it.
She does know it. Yeah, for sure.
Even last night, you want to see me sleeping in the bed? She was in the bed and stuff, and I was like, honestly, trying to lie on the slightest wee bit of bed, like a sardine.
You were trying to lie in the tiny bit of bed.
Yeah, she's lying on her back and on her side, and just not a care in the world.
That's fantastic. She's very lucky to have you believe in her, that's for sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Right, missus, you gonna come with me? That's right, you're the boss. You're the boss.
Stop the barking, yeah.
Big bugs. We're gonna take her through now.
Okay, go this way. Good girl.
Come on, sweetheart. Come. I'll bring the lead back, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Go, darling.
Cheers. Come on, bud. Well done. Good girl, Bonnie. It's a real struggle, isn't it? Yeah. Bonnie's femur is fractured here at the top. It's all over the place. You can see the femurs coming out to the side here. And the leg is, it's all grating and horrible. It's a real mess. I mean, it's just remarkable how she's even coping with this at all. It's incredible. My goodness gracious me. I'm not going to pull that about anymore because it's so badly fractured. Absolute nightmare. And it may not be possible to save this leg. It just might not be possible. But we're going to give it a darn good go. And it's my birthday. So this is the birthday present I want. I want to come out of this op knowing that I've done my best and that we've got a good chance of saving this leg. This is your chat today on a single page. Why you might want to be a vet, why you might want to choose the University of Surrey. So you're extraordinarily lucky because you're going to be trying to look after love. Wow, what a privilege. You're looking after a bond between humanity and the animals on the planet. And that's an extraordinary thing. Do you really love animals? Or are you just interested in science? It's a really important question, big questions, because I went to a human hospital once and I gave a talk about trauma, and the guy came up to me at the end and he said, a human surgeon, and he said, well, that's all very well and good, Professor Fitzpatrick, thanks so much, but why do you bother? It's only a dog. That's okay. But do not do this unless you love animals. Just don't. No point. Why am I here on my birthday to talk to you? It's because I care about what you're going to do. And if I influence one of you to want to be great, to want to do your best for the animals in the world, then it's well worth it because there's a huge void between where you are now and being good. That will take you 10 to 12 years. There's a bigger void between being good and being great. That's the difference between being in an average rock band and being Brian May from Queen. How many hours do you think Brian May from Queen has put in to be really good, to be great? Approximately 100,000 hours. That's 11.4 consecutive years of your life. Are you going to give this career attitude, real attitude, I mean really go all out to be Brian May? Or are you not? It's up to you. Big thrill for me just now, scrubbing beside Stefano. Stefano was an intern with me, and he gets the opportunity to be Brian May, which means he gets the opportunity to play guitar very, very well. Now he has a residency. Stefano was in general practice, and he could have gone on and done all kinds of surgeries without proper training, right? He always felt that it wasn't the best that he could do. And then he gets the chance to learn how to play guitar for 3 years. Except in his case, he can actually play guitar. However, he will still not be Brian May. So even after he's done his residency, his learning curve is steep because this is an operation that is not possible to do. That's why the dog is here. More than 50% of my work now is revising failed surgery. This morning I saw a case into the practice. The people have come from Northern Ireland and a hip replacement in their dog has failed 3 times. And it's impossible to fix this dog now because the bone is too thin, it's had an infection, etc. But I'm going to spend 8 hours doing that today because it's the right thing to do, and we've got a reasonable chance of success with the technology that we've built for this specific dog. But it didn't exist. And apparently doesn't exist. You can't get it anywhere else in the world. So you got to ask yourself, where do you want to exist in 13 years from now? Because I can tell you most of the things I've done didn't exist, and some of them have failed. Be a vet, be a good person, be kind, be human, be the best you can be. Find a reason big enough to keep you centered. Come here if you want, and if it's a good fit for you. So good luck to you all, and I wish you the very best with your careers. Well done. Thanks. Will any of these beautiful, wonderful, young, vibrant, enthusiastic, potential vet students want to do an operation that has never been done before on planet Earth today? I wonder, will one of them become good and want to be great? In case anybody's in any doubt that I want to spread love, hope and peace in the world, all I have to say to you is love, hope and peace, lovers. All right, let's go. Here we go. Right now we're dissecting down onto the femur, but the roadmap is all disrupted, meaning that the normal anatomy is no longer apparent. It's all stuck together with fibrous tissue. This is awful. And it's previously been infected, so whatever is left of the bugs we can clear up with putting beads impregnated with antibiotics in here. The top part of the femur fractured off. See, it's wafer thin bone. So it's attached to muscle up here that is essential to allow the leg to move. What I gotta do is somehow reattach that small piece of bone to this bigger piece of bone, but before I do that, I gotta take all the cement out of here. What we've got here is a special plate which will support the femur. The other challenge that we've got is the bone is going to be very fragile when I reconstruct all of that. So I've put this large rod of trabecular titanium inside the femur. Right, here's the cement sticking out here out of the bone. That was from the previous hip replacement. I've got to get that cement out, because if I don't get the cement out, I can't heal the infection. So I've got to cut the side off and lift that off. That's called a coffin lid, because it looks like the lid of a coffin. Normally we would put in a piece of plastic in the femur that goes to here to stop the cement going down to the bottom, but sadly that was not put in there. Oh dear, this is tricky. Very, very tricky. You can see we're lifting off this lid, and the cement is under here, which is infected, and it comes out as one piece. Right, we're going to mix the antibiotic beads. We've put the antibiotic powder into a bowl. Now we're going to mix that antibiotic powder with calcium carbonate, and we're going to go on the Great British Bake Off, mixing the flour with the castor sugar. Paul Hollywood, eat that. So we're adding in liquid now, which is another kind of antibiotic. Gorgeous. Right, I'm going to put the lid back on the femur now. I'm going to put some antibiotic beads in. So we just take the beads out like so and put them into this bowl. And over the next 20 days or so, they will just dissolve and send out a high dose of antibiotics into the surrounding tissue. Plate going in now. Last screw of the evening. Hit me. So what we're leaving here is a situation called a femoral head and neck excision, which is second best to having a hip. A false joint forms with fibrous tissue. There is no head on the femur. There hasn't been since it was chopped off to put in a total hip replacement, which did not work. It does not work for all dogs, but it was working reasonably well for Bonnie before she fractured her femur. And if we can get a reasonable function out of this leg, we can consider a total hip replacement on the other side in due course. That is the best I can do, my friend. Let's hope it works for you. With you by my side, doing my best was the best thing to do. We've just had the x-ray pictures back now from Bonnie and they look really rather good. I don't think we could have got any better. That was challenging surgery for sure. What do you think, Ricochet? Come on, mate. Come on, buddy. Good boy. This is my birthday after party with my boys. I think I'm going to now have a sip from the pina colada that my team got me. Ooh. Ricochet, the standard gag is you're there sipping pina coladas instead of doing work. Let me tell you, having never actually tasted a pina colada before, I think I'm better off at work.
If you like pina colada, making love in the rain, skinny dipping in the ocean, pampered and entertained, Caribbean escape.
It's been a week now. We've been away from Bonnie, which has been very difficult. It's just so quiet without her because she's such a big personality, and our life revolves around her, so not having her there is awful.
Yeah, she would shadow you everywhere. Like, you leave a room, she'll be right behind you, and sort of just to not have her. It's just bizarre. It's just strange.
No shadow. Shadow's gone.
I think we're both a bit sort of anxious.
I'm nervous. I am nervous just to see how she is. This is her 4th surgery, so I feel like we are kind of pros now at dealing with these situations, but it's still just nerve-wracking.
Yeah, just sort of anxious kind of.
Yeah.
That's it. Well done. Good. Keep going. Good girl. Good girl. That's excellent. Well done. That's great. Okay. So Bonnie's been through the wars and she's had a bad infection in this right hind leg, which we've operated on. We're a week out from surgery. She's certainly doing great so far. So every success stands on the shoulders of failure, and every bit of progress is just a tiny step forward. It's like a musical artist who suddenly seems successful. How did you get an overnight success? Well, you've been working at it for 10 or 20 years and then they're an overnight success. They didn't get an overnight success like that. They've been playing their musical instrument for years. I've been doing this surgery for years and years and years. So we're going to give her her last dose of antibiotics now, and then you're going home, sweetie pie, and I'll put on my gloves when I give you a hug, okay? Off you go back in. Hold on. Right, Bonnie's family. Bonnie's very seasonal family. Well done, Merry Christmas. And happy birthday to me as well.
Yes, happy birthday.
I can't think of anything I'd rather do than spend 7 hours operating on Bonnie.
Well, you're welcome.
I did not expect her to be as good as she is.
Okay.
Because it's a nightmare and it's technically speaking impossible.
Okay.
So what you have on post-op is this.
Wow.
We sent that away for culture, came back positive for the MRSP, which I told you about. Then we had to make the decision once the culture came back about the antibiotics. We've given that for the last 5 days.
Okay.
So because I don't want her to slip, I'm going to bring her out here. So come with me and then we'll debrief on the rest.
Okay.
I'm going to bring her out to you right there.
I know, darling.
Okay, so let's just walk her along this way, please, Connie. If you go ahead and grab this for me.
This?
Yes, please.
Yep.
And if you go ahead and grab this for me, please. And just practice walking her up and down there. That's it. Just practice walking up and down. Good. Have you got that?
Yeah.
And let's get her in the car. So be careful that she doesn't slip or run. Remember, this bone is not going to heal.
Yeah.
So the mechanics is holding everything up. And do you have a harness for her?
Yes, I do. Unbelievable. Like, just unreal. So excited.
We thought she'd be like down and sort of sad and kind of head down, but no, she's brilliant. She's
very resilient.
She's amazing.
That's for sure. Aren't you, darling? Best girl. We are now about to drive 8 hours to Scotland to get the boat home. So we will get to Northern Ireland at like 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. So yeah.
Yeah, start of a long journey.
That's our plan.
Bob.
All worth it. Carter is doing the driving.
Yes.
And I will probably sleep.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. So.
Great passenger, great co-pilot. So we are back here today to see Noel after Bonnie's leg reconstruction?
I think she's doing great considering what has, happened the last couple of weeks. She's walking great, she's wanting to play, she's eating well. She is busting to get out. When we take her out to the toilet, she's pulling to get further. It's like, no, we can't do that just yet, but to me that's a good sign because she's willing to go further. Today we're hoping to get good news. Everything is healing well and she is on the right path to recovery, and hopefully get her signed off in the next couple of weeks to go back to her little treatments such as hydrotherapy and her physio.
Okay, so we're about to see Bonnie now. Hi, good morning. Apologies for the delay. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Morning, mate. How are you?
Going?
Nice to see you. You okay?
You too, yes.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. You're excited, you're excited. I'm so glad when they're happy to see me. You go for it, go for it. Yeah, wonderful. All right, sweetie pie. How do you think she's been?
She's been putting weight on her leg.
Yeah, she definitely is putting weight on it, isn't she? Now go back down the yard again. I want to see that leg move without the sling.
Come on, Papa, there.
Thank you, well done. Well done, keep going, that's great, that's great. She's making a valiant effort, isn't she?
She is.
Okay, wonderful. She's such a good girl, she's such a lovely dog, isn't she? Right, so far, so good.
Okay.
You got a beautiful bit of fluff. You're like me. If I grow it any longer, I'll become Santa when I examine one of these dogs. So let's hope that the X-ray picture looks as optimistic as I am. Well done, Boop. She loves her mom and dad. I mean, she's so attached to you, isn't she?
Very much.
I mean, like, if you move an inch, she's on it.
Yeah, she is. Same in the house.
My God, it's incredible. The bond is incredible, isn't it? You take the front end, please. I'll take the back end, and we'll go through. Guys, you take a seat in reception, and I'll be right there. It's strange and disappointing that the world doesn't move forward as quickly in animal medicine as it does in human medicine. It's not an egotistical thing to say that Bonnie did not have a chance to save this leg anywhere else on planet Earth. And that's not because the technology can't fix this, it's because we just don't think like that in veterinary medicine. We think that human patients deserve all this level of care, but we've accepted that full limb amputation is the only option in the face of infection. And for me, it's all about the leg you see, the legacy, legacy. So I was very happy with the clinical examination this morning, and I'm equally happy with pictures in the sense that the picture shows us that as far as we can tell, there's no swelling associated with infection.
Okay.
As far as we can tell, the antibiotic beads have resorbed and have eluted their antibiotic into the region. And as far as we can tell, it's holding up. I'm happy with how things are. It's clearly apparent that this leg is riding high, which it always has, because there's no hip socket.
Yeah.
So therefore, the femur is that much higher than it should be. It should be there.
Okay.
But there will always be a tendency for the leg to go like this,
Okay.
because there's no firm point of anchorage. So I would encourage, as soon as we can get somebody in Northern Ireland to do hydrotherapy, well, you can start that again now.
Now?
Yes.
Brilliant.
To try and build up the muscle mass. The next thing I want to tell you is that the other side is trashed, which you already knew.
Yep.
But I'm very worried about it because the bone has been eaten away and it's getting worse.
Okay.
So I'm also worried about infection on that side. It's hard to know whether there is infection there or whether the head of that femur is being physically eaten away by the inflammation. There's something eating it away.
Okay.
And that's either inflammation or infection.
Okay.
So it could be that there's subclinical infection there, that there's bugs there that are eating it away, but they're not becoming abundantly apparent. This is on the other side.
Yeah.
Infection could still come back. You've done your best with the IV, you've done your best with the beads. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And this side, we will revisit contingent upon how you're doing.
It's just,
But you are where you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't magic that to be different.
No.
Yeah.
This is it.
But we can't turn back the clock.
Okay.
Bottom line is everything I've done has worked so far.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And I'll see you in 6 weeks, at which point then we'll make a decision regarding the other leg.
Okay.
We good?
Sounds good.
Well done. Well, you're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome. Well done. Well done on being so
Super.
dedicated.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're the man. And then I'll bring Bonnie out in a moment.
No problem. Thank you.
I was overjoyed when I saw Bonnie walking around the yard, doing fantastically well on the operated leg. And then the tragedy unfolded. The family knew from the very beginning that recurrence of the infection, in spite of putting in the antibiotic impregnated beads and in spite of putting in intravenous antibiotics, that the infection could come back. And lo and behold, a few months later, it did come back.
She had her surgery in December. She was doing brilliant up until February. So then we had noticed on her operated leg, there was a bit of a swollen red pouch. It was like squidgy to touch, and we're thinking, what the hell is that? On the boat ride over, it started to leak, and we just knew then it was like, this isn't good, because Noel had made it very clear that if she gets an infection, it's just not going to be good for her. So Noel seen her then in February, confirmed that she had a terminal infection. It got into her bloodstream. It's called MRSP. It's antibiotic resistant, which is not ideal. So it's really, really hard to treat. So yeah, when we got that news, it was just devastating.
This bit of the story was just too painful to film. But it's really important. I think it's critical to tell you the truth.
Being told that she's terminal, it was just
Horrendous. It was just,
awful.
yeah, you just kind of thought, like, finally, everything's sort of going well, everything's worked, it's now type thing, and then you're just told that, unfortunately, all the efforts is just devastating.
And a lot of people will say, oh, well, no, you never should have tried. It was a step too far. Not true. It was entirely ethical to try, and we did our best, and the family absolutely knew all the facts. Beautiful people, wonderful people, fantastic human beings who genuinely loved their friend. However, there is a line in the sand, and that line in the sand was crossed when the infection came back. Ultimately, biology determines what happens, and if infection comes back and it's on metal and bone, it's nigh on impossible to get rid of it without taking all the metal out, and we can't take the metal out, and we can't take the limb off because it will be unethical, because infection was already present on the other side, and we couldn't do a hip replacement on the other side.
So everyone knew how high risk infection was, but you still try. Yeah, the initial recovery period was brilliant. So that's why when the infection came into play, it was such a shock, because she was doing great. She was going to hydrotherapy, she was going on her walks, everything was just,
Everything's going how it should have went, like,
yeah.
everything's going according to plan type thing. We kind of thought, we'll take it as good days, bad days. So when the bad days start to outweigh the good, then we're not being fair, we're being selfish then. So we both understood that we will take each day as it comes, and we'll just kind of see. And there was a time there where maybe, like, the bad day, and we're both sort of looking at each other, and neither of us want to say it type thing, and we're thinking, see how she is in the morning, and the next day she just bounces back. Like, it's just kind of like an overnight thing. Hey, good girl. She's just like, it's almost like she's, it's like kind of joke on it sort of thing, like.
But we're now 5 months in, and she's still happy and running around and bearing weight on both legs. Like, her own vet just can't believe she's an infection in both hips, and she's walking around and running around. Like, she shouldn't be able to do that. We're not stupid. We know we're on borrowed time with her, but we're just making the most of every day.
And apart from her not being the strongest on her leg, she is not. You can hear her squeaking her toys away, she's busting to play.
We don't obviously like to leave her, so we are very restricted, but we don't care. It doesn't matter to us. She can't play with other dogs because she is a risk of infecting. We do have to take her places that we know are quiet. But her day-to-day life, she's still getting up, playing, running about. She's on her pain medication, so...
She's not letting anything stop her. She's still getting on with it and still doing what she wants to do and sort of trying her best. So, yeah, I think that makes it, as silly as it sounds, that makes it nearly easier for us to see her doing so well. It's kind of like, well, that's fine, then we'll keep going and we'll keep changing the dress and we'll keep sort of tending to your needs sort of thing.
It is a full-time, it's just full-time care, but wouldn't have it any other way.
I think Noel was I think it sort of knocked the wind out of his sails a wee bit as well whenever the infection happened. But
I just want to thank Noel for taking our case, and what he did work. It's just unfortunate that the infection came back, but we're just glad that he got us more time with Bonnie, because no one else.
Yeah, nobody would have took it on. It was a complete mess.
They're the best that humanity has to offer, and Bonnie was the best that the canine community have to offer. So I wish it had been different, but I still would have rather have tried than not to have tried.
No, there's no way for us to have any regrets, because we know deep down we have done everything for her.
We could have done. Right, we've tried everything we sort of can, and we still are sort of trying all we can to sort of make life as comfortable for us as possible. So no regrets at all with any of the decisions we made. What Noel and his team done was they worked miracles with her. They really did. And like I say, they're thankful for every day with her. So they've bought us more time than we ever thought we'd have had whenever we were told of what was happening. She's just a fighter, and you can see she's smiling nearly. You know she's happy. So she definitely brings us happiness, and we hope if we bring her any sort of even half the happiness she brings us, then it'll be good.